The Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our ServiceNow series, where we interview the best and brightest of the industry to share their story, advice, and views on the exciting world of ServiceNow and digital transformation.
Hello everybody, it's Mark Kelly here. Hope everyone is really well. And coming up to Knowledge 23, I'm very happy to welcome Sascha Wildgrube to our podcast today. And Sascha is a principal technical consultant at ServiceNow Germany. Sascha, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hello, Mark. Thanks for having me today.
Sascha, before we jump into your talks at Knowledge, and how you're looking to help and help users, tell us a little bit about your current role and some of the work that you do day to day at ServiceNow.
Yes, certainly. I'm a technical consultant with the Customer Outcomes organization in ServiceNow in EMEA. I'm based in Frankfurt. I'm about 3.5 years with ServiceNow now. Haven't been working with ServiceNow before, so I'm relatively new. I've been mainly working with clients who had, I'd say, more complex and more pro-code related challenges. I've been helping them to implement data segregation solutions. I've been helping them to establish automated testing, automated QA, and in a wider sense, maturing their development process. Currently, I'm working with a large client, a German-based, or let's say the single largest telecommunication provider in Germany, and mainly focusing on maturing their development process, automating their deployment process. That's what I do.
So Sascha, you've got over 35 years of software development, and you've started at the age of 10. So you can do a little bit of full stack development, and you're 3.5 years in ServiceNow. So you're an experienced practitioner. Tell us a little bit about the talks that you're going to have at K23 this year, and what are you looking to help users by actually providing those talks?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm going to be talking about two different topics on Knowledge 23. One is how ServiceNow supports a humanitarian aid effort for the Ukraine. And the other talk is titled How to Sleep Well When Your 200 Developers Deploy Apps Every Day. And the second talk is exactly about that. It's a reference to, I would say, some of the pain points that my clients experienced when they really ramped up their development team on a single instance, on a single ServiceNow instance with at sometimes more than 200 developers working on that instance at the same time. And we're deploying and then delivering apps at a higher pace. And I would say back when we started implementing a number of new ideas, that was really a mess. That was really chaotic. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the team, it's full of talented, very experienced people. But we didn't have a framework, a method to put all these different pieces together in order to deploy really reliable software. And that has changed dramatically. And this is what we're going to talk about. But eventually, this method might be copied by other clients. I'm really looking forward to see this.
So technology is a messy field at the best of times. You're always trying to integrate different types of systems that do not necessarily want to try to be integrated, lions and lambs. And then you also have challenges putting things into production. And people can underestimate the different challenging environments that people encompass all the time. And I love your title because it's what keeps people awake all the time is thinking about these different projects that are going a million miles an hour, and then making sure all the different stakeholders, internal and external, are kept at bay with what new changes that are happening. What can people expect to get, or maybe some quick wins that could come from attending the talk?
Absolutely. The quick win. Well, are there any quick wins? Are there any low-hanging fruits? Well, certainly there may be. It really depends on the organization where to really start. But if I do not know anything about a client, if I do not know anything about the ecosystem, the specific challenges that they are facing, I would say build a coding guideline and express that coding guideline using Instant Scan, which is a platform capability in ServiceNow that essentially turns the ServiceNow instance into a static code analysis tool. And when a team is able to look at the mistakes that have been made, the issues that have been caused, certainly not all can be addressed using, let's say, looking or checks that look at code and that look at configuration artifacts, but some can. And if you can identify some of the root causes and create checks against them, that's a great way to start, right? You can invent these checks and say, we did this before. We want the full team, the whole team, not to do a comparable mistake again. We can apply that automatic checks. So, and then it goes on. We would want to do the same thing with application functionality and use ATF, which is the automated testing framework, another platform capability, which turns the ServiceNow instance into a testing tool, and apply that to more applications. So second step. Third step is establish a process in the organization that demands that there's no findings from your instant scan checks and there's no failing tests from your ATFs before you deploy. And that makes the whole process already more robust. So what to get from the talk, we will share some ideas on where to start and where to have short-term wins, short-term improvements, but also what does it mean to you on the long run?
I think this is important because a lot of people just don't know where to start. So many different options about where to dive in. So having a starting point and then guidelines about the direction that you can take really gives people peace of mind and feel like they're actually gone on a journey of learning, but also being able to educate their company about what steps to actually take. Any outcomes that they may generate?
Yeah, well, I'm often asked, what's the business model, right? What is the percentage gain in whatever it might be? Faster deployments, less time spent here, I don't know, quicker time to market, and such metrics. We've been working through this process with that one single client, and we're currently exporting these ideas to more instances within that client and eventually also to other clients. Each client is in a different situation. Each client has specific different challenges. The teams are different. The organizational culture is different. So it's really difficult to have a metric, a KPI that really says, this is how it was before, this is how it is now. But what we can see is people are more relaxed, people are feeling more secured. And this is not only the developers, it's also the product owners, the stakeholders, the management that sees the early results, that sees that the process is more robust, more reliable. And that in itself is a great achievement.
Yeah, absolutely. That is truly a great achievement. And finally, Sascha, what are you most looking forward to by attending Knowledge 23 this year?
Well, I would say it's the obvious thing. Meeting so many people in person that I've been working with or communicated with only virtually. So that's probably one of the most obvious and straightforward things. I've been attending Knowledge 22 in The Hague. So I got kind of a glimpse, a I would say, a small preview on the event in Vegas. So I'm really looking forward to to be meeting so many people at that one place and inhale the atmosphere, the energy, and simply the unleash of power that such an event will convey. I'm really looking forward to that.
Sascha Wildgrube, Principal Technical Consultant at ServiceNow. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much for having me. Have a good day.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.